so that your toes are touching. You're going to sink your hips back, extend your arms forward, and relax your shoulders. So that your toes are touching. And just focus on your breathing. You're going to sink your hips back, extend your arms forward, and relax your shoulders. So that your toes are touching. Come back up to tabletop. And know that child's pose is there for you whenever you need it, if you need a break, okay? Now we're going to thread the needle. We're going to do a warm-up first. We're going to raise our right arm. And we're going to look toward our fingers. We call this our dristi, our focus of our vision. First. We're going to raise our right arm. And we're going to thread it through halfway for a gentle twist. Not all the way down, Pat. Come back up. Now we're going to come all the way through so that your face and your shoulder is on the mat. You're going to extend your left arm straight ahead of you for a little deeper stretch. If you have a half a bind, feel free to take it. Notice how your breath fills up your side body here. Bring your hand toward your face and lift back up. Raise your arm high to the sky. And back to tabletop. What we do on one side, we always do on the other side. You can feel the difference, you should now, the imbalance. So left arm up. Look up toward your fingertips, Ed. Halfway through. Back up. Link your breaths to your movements. And all the way through. Extend your right arm out if you want a deeper stretch. And come back up. Hand toward face. Lift up. All the way. Back down to tabletop. I always like to throw in some cat and cows. They make me feel good. I have back issues, as you know, so it always feels good in between to throw in a cat and cow for me. Remember, it's your practice. Do what feels good for you. Okay, now, extend your right leg out behind you. You're not pointing your toes, but your foot is flat as if it were up against a wall. And we're going to cross it over to the left. And we're going to do gentle pulses. You might feel your glutes talking to you here. That's okay. Your butt. That's what we're looking for. Now bring your foot back, and we're going to cross it over for a seated Skandasana, which is a side lunge. Take this slow. Just go as far as it feels comfortable for you, okay? If you're here, you can sink into it, relax. And then we're going to flex and point our toes. Start to work our hamstrings, warm them up. We're going to come back to tabletop, but first pay attention. We're going to use our hands to pick us up, not to put strain on our knees, okay? Everybody doing okay? Okay, what we do on one side, we do on the other. So left leg crosses over. Gentle pulses. And we're going to swing it straight through to the other side for a seated side lunge. Skandasana, pay attention to your knees. That's fine. Bettina, come to here and just extend out your left leg. There you go. And we'll point and flex. If you're here, go ahead and sink down into it on your forearms. And when you're ready, use your hands. Once again, pay attention to your knee, not to put too much tension on it, to pick yourself up to tabletop. And if you'd like, throw in a cat and cow. Now just do some organic movements. Maybe sway your hips to one side. Just warming everything up. Play with your bodies a little bit. Maybe do some barrel rolls with your chest. You can shake your head, yes and no. Do a little work for your neck to release some tension. Then we're going to find our way to a comfortable seat. However you get there is fine. Take your time. Everybody good? Okay. I'm going to cross your legs, come to a comfortable seat. Here we want to make sure we're sitting up nice and straight. We don't need to puff out our chest, but we're not going to be slouched down either, okay? Just tonight, your core is going to support you, all right? And we're just going to do some gentle neck rolls. I invite you to close your eyes and listen to your neck creaking and cracking like mine. We'll do 4 on each side. And then reverse direction. And then come back, open your eyes. We'll drop one ear to one shoulder. Don't go too far, just where you start to feel the tension. We like challenge and tension, but not pain. Sensation is your muscles talking to you. If you go to pain at our age, it will lead to an injury most probably. So honor your body and listen to it. Come back to neutral, and we'll look up and down. 4 times. Now, we're going to inhale, deep inhale as we bring our arms up. If you have concerns of your shoulder, an alternative, and I'll always show you alternatives, maybe just come straight. But if you're up, that's fine. Now notice, we're warriors. Our arms are strong and straight. Straight as you can get them, but our shoulders are relaxed, not up by our ears, okay? When we exhale, gentle twist. Doesn't matter which side you go. Inhale up. Other side, exhale. Inhale up. One more time, maybe twist a little bit further if you're comfortable doing it. Up. Exhale. Back up. And this time we will forward fold. And focus on our breath for a minute. If you're feeling tension, breathe into it to release it. Make your way back up. Now we're going to extend one leg out, doesn't matter which one to start with. We are in a Janushirasana, which is a seated tree position. Notice my toes are flexed up. In yoga, we're just not hanging out. We're working all our muscles, okay? So you should feel your quads and your gastrocnemius here contracting in this position. And we're going to reach for our toes. I do it one of two ways. I can just reach for it if you like, but it's more comfortable for me to bend my knee, reach, and then straighten it out. You don't have to straighten out your leg. Just go to wherever it's comfortable for you. And then fold into it with an exhale. We'll come back up. If you would like a deeper stretch, I'll show you an alternative. Otherwise, just stay where you were. If you'd like to open up your hip a little bit more, you can come into a half lotus. It's a hard stretch. Don't do it if you've not done it, you're not comfortable with it. Just stay where you were before. But the same idea, we're just going to reach for our toes. You don't have to reach your toes. Just go where it's comfortable for you and fold into it. Come back up. Now we're going to stretch our hamstring here. I'll demonstrate two variations, okay? If you have issues with your knee, you're not going to do variation 1, you'll do 2. Variation 1, I'm going to grab 2-finger peace hold is traditional, but I get a greater stretch just grabbing the ball of my foot. And we're just going to stretch out. Okay? We'll get to the second variation on the next stretch. Come back in. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe massage your toes. And repeat. If you feel like you're falling backward, you need to work on your core. We're going to work on our core later. But your core is holding you up here. Come back in. We're going to grab our heel, wrap our arm under our leg so the palm is facing here. And we're going to forward fold, circle our ankles, each direction, maybe 4 times. And why not massage your toes while you're here? We can multitask. Now this is the stretch where there'll be 2 versions. The first one, if you have knee issues, you won't do. But we rock back up straight. We grab the blade of our foot and we stretch. Version 2, just come to the front and just come straight up. So whichever one works for you. If you stretch this far, that's perfect for you, okay? Come back. We'll rock our baby again, maybe massage your toes. And take one of the 2 versions that you like better. Come back, and we'll switch legs. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side now, but we'll go over together. Again, I like to bend my knee, start, reach, and then come to straight as far as I can. And fold into it with a nice exhale. Come back up. I won't do the half lotus because my knee's a problem, but if you have it in your practice, feel free to do it for the deeper stretch. And we'll do it one more time. Come back up. 2-finger or ball of your foot. Stretch out. Come back in, shake it out a little bit. And one more time. Come back. Again, grab your heel. Put your arm under. Rock our baby a little bit. Open up our hips. Let's come forward a little bit. Circle our ankles. 4 times in each direction. Massage your toes. Have fun with your feet. Because we're going to put them to work in a little while. You're going to need this. Okay, again, one of the 2 versions, either grab the outside, or just on the inside, and stretch. Come back. And version 2. Come to a butterfly, seated butterfly. Shake out our hips, our sit bones. Everybody doing okay? Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of back work. I want you to imagine somebody's got a string at the lower part of your back, your sacrum, and they're going to pull you back, so you're going to fold back. Then we're going to fold forward toward our toes. We're going to straighten our back and look up. We're all breathing, right? Good. And come back to neutral. And we're just going to do the same thing in the opposite direction. Straight back from your hips, you're hinging. Fold. And pull back from your lower back. And back to neutral. Shake out your hips. We're going to come to our backs. We're going to do a little bit of core work. And work on our lower back. First thing you're going to do is just hug your knees to your chest. And take a little back massage, rocking side to side, up and down. I like to make little figure 8s and expand the range of motion as I'm doing it. Now, we're going to bring our feet straight up. This is called waterfall. You're going to bring your arms out to a T to the side of you. We're going to hold our waterfall for another 5 seconds. Put your fingers on your rectus abdominis, your abdominal muscles. You'll feel them contracting. Now you're going to take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee, plant your left foot down, and you're going to sway your legs over to one side, and you're going to look off to the other side with your dristi, as if you're wringing out your body, as if it were a wet towel. Take a nice deep breath. Come back to neutral, and sway over to the other side. Nice and slow. Back to neutral. And back to our waterfall. And we're going to hold it for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3. Take your left ankle over your right knee. Plant your right foot. Sway to whichever side you would like. Look to the opposite side. Back to neutral. And switch. Back to neutral. Hug both your knees into your chest. Take that back massage. And you're going to slowly rock forward and back till you come to a comfortable seat. This is a flow class, so we're going to do a sequence. We'll do it slow. I will walk through it first. Before we get to it, we're going to warm up our bodies doing our chaturangas, which are yogi push-ups, and our sun salutation A. I'll demonstrate it first, and I'll give a couple of options for people who have issues with shoulders, okay? We start from high plank. Everything's nice and straight. Normal push-up, our elbows are out a little bit. A yogi push-up, you're bringing your elbows in towards your ribs. You're going to lower, flatten out your feet, come up to a cobra. I prefer an upward-facing dog with my thighs. It's less extension on my back, a little more comfortable. We curl our toes. We come into our first downward-facing dog. Now, downward-facing dogs, our fingers are spread apart, but our thumb not so much, only about a third of the way. Our heels are working toward flat. May or may not get there, doesn't matter, but that's the idea, okay? We're pushing our mat away. Second option, if you prefer for more advanced, you do a one-legged chaturanga. If you want that challenge. If not, you can come to your knees and give your shoulders a break. Maybe just come down halfway. Or I enjoy just coming into Balasana, which is child's pose, and just coming up to downward dog from there. So, yogi's choice, okay? So I'll go through the sun salutation. Downward facing dog, come to a plank pose, high plank, or stay on your knees. We're going to come to downward facing dog. Take a nice breath. Look between your thumbs, bend your knees, and we're going to walk. Step or hop up to a forward fold. From here we go to a flat back. Halfway lift, hands on your shins. Now notice my back is flat. You want a 90-degree angle with your body, okay? We forward fold again. And then we root to rise all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms stretched out. Cactus our arms, open up our heart. Back up to neutral, palms together. Forward fold. Your knees can be bent here, that's fine, whatever is comfortable for your body, okay? Halfway lift, straight back, forward fold, root to rise. Nice inhale. We're going to grab our wrist, right over left, doesn't matter. We're going to banana, believe it or not, Bananasana, which is going to kind of turn our body into a banana. Back to neutral. Other side. Neutral. Maybe extend your back a little bit if you're comfortable with that. Look up to the heavens. And forward fold on an exhale. Halfway lift. We're going to step back, bring your hands forward. Back to a high plank. You choose which of the push-ups works for you, knees down or not. And Chaturanga Dandasana. Come to upward facing dog or your cobra. Curl your toes into downward facing dog. Look between your thumbs, bend your knees, step, walk or hop to a forward fold. Flat back, forward fold, root to rise, and we're going to open up to one side this time and get a nice gentle twist. Back up to neutral, and other side. Back up to neutral, And forward fold. Flat back. Let's come into Malasana here. Yogi squat. Your feet are about 45 degrees out. If it's tough on your hips or your knees, you don't have to come here, just come to a comfortable seat. If you're here, you're going to use your elbows to push out your knees to get a nice hip stretch. I invite you to close your eyes and focus on your breath. And find yourself in a comfortable seat, however you'd like to get there. Let's talk about our toys. Block position 1, 2, 3. When we do our standing stretches, and it'll make more sense when I show it to you, you pick any of these that you like, if you use it at all, okay? Our strap, before we start our sequence, we're going to work a little bit more on our stretching of our legs, our hamstrings to get ready, okay? So I just like to open up the loop, put my foot in it, tighten it up. Now I'll demonstrate first, and then we'll all do it together. Straight leg. You can start from a bent position and go as far as comfortable for you, okay? Doesn't have to be straight. Once you're here, I use my opposite arm to open up my hip. I use this arm to control the descent of my leg so it doesn't go so fast, okay? Come back up, bend straight, switch arms, come to the other side. Take your time with this and breathe. Only go as far until that tension starts. You might want to do gentle pulses to give you a little more stretch. If you're off to the side, bend your knee before you come back to neutral, and then straight. Beautiful, all look great. Okay, and we're going to switch sides. You guys are good. Come to your back. You can bend the one leg that's not in the strap if you prefer. It doesn't really matter. And drop over to one side. Bend your knee to come back to neutral. And then go to the other side. Bend your knee, come back to neutral. And make your way back to a comfortable seat. Just throw your straps out of the way.
One leg that's easier than the other.
Of course, that's the way it's most people. Yeah.
Me too,
The side that's good for me is the side where I had the hip replacement. It's much better now. Okay, let's just shake it out. Are we all sufficiently stretched, do you think, to move on? You warmed up? Okay, good. So I'm going to demonstrate our sequence, our flow sequence. I'll walk through it with commentary the first time. Second time, I'll just call out the poses. And then we'll all do it together nice and slow, okay? Again, save space. Don't worry about where you're going with it. If you get lost, that's fine. Just do what feels good to you, okay? This is your practice again. So I start in a high plank. I'm going to come to 3-point cheetah. 3-point side cheetah. Elbow touches tricep. 3-point Twisted cheetah. Now, if you don't want to go through all those 3 points, you can just do one and work your obliques, crossing your leg. Ultimately, though, we need to come back here to step through to Virabhadrasana 1, which is Warrior 1. Notice my arms are straight, my shoulders are relaxed. Notice how I'm stacking my knee over my ankle, not here. Too much stress, we want that stability and strength, okay? Straight leg. We open up to Warrior 2. Again, stacking properly. Arms are strong. You're contracting your muscles here, but your shoulders are relaxed. Reverse warrior into side angle. Now this is where your block comes in. Side angle can be just here. If you want a deeper stretch, block 3, 2, or 1, or just come all the way down if you're there. We use our core to come back up to a straight-legged reverse warrior. Warrior 2, we're setting up for Trikonasana, which is triangle pose. Arch our hips back, open up, and we slide down. This may be as far as you go, that's fine. Use your blocks again. Or we come all the way down, do 2-finger peace hold. We come all the way up from our core, open up to the heavens with star, and now we have fun with goddess. Elbows perpendicular to your shoulders, not down here. If it's rough on your shoulders, come here. Notice my heels are up. This is where the balance comes in. You don't have to. You can stay here, play with 1 or 2. Maybe close your eyes and see what happens with your proprioception. Back up to star. We gently forward fold. This is where you come to our Skandhasanas. Now, this is a big stretch. This may be your Skandhasana side lunge right here. That's fine. If you want to go further and you have that flexibility, we come all the way down. We would start on the right. We can do, if you have a bind, we come to dragonfly twist. We do a chaturanga or skip it. And then we start over. 3-point cheetah, 3-point side cheetah, twisted cheetah. Step through warrior 1, warrior 2. See how I went too far? Gotta pay attention. Reverse warrior, side angle, straight-legged reverse warrior for Trikonasana. All the way up from our core into star. Goddess. Okay. Play with it. This is your time to play if you would like. Back up to star, forward fold. To the left this time. To the right. Dragonfly twist. And from here we'll just go into a child pose and catch our breath. Looks like a lot. It's not. We'll do it slow together, okay? Just do what feels good to you. So let's come to a plank. Three-point. Cheetah. Knee to nose. 3-point, or just go back and forth. Over to the side, cheetah. 3-point. Twisted cheetah. 3-point. Step through. Warrior 1. Arms up nice and straight. Flow into warrior 2. Make sure you're stacking properly. Your knee is not inward or outward, but straight over your big toe. Reverse warrior, flip your palm. Then we come into, if you want your block, you can use it here. It's a side angle. Come up to straight-legged, both legs straight, reverse warrior. Warrior two. Into our triangle pose. Beautiful. We're going to come up from our core into star. Open up. Take a nice exhale. Feels good, right? Let's do it again. Sink down. Pick up one foot. See if you can do it. Easy, right? Put it back down. Try the other side. Pete. Pete. Bring your hips forward a little bit. There you go. Much better. Now let's try both feet. That's tough. If you wiggle and fall out of it, that's fine. We just come back. We're learning about our bodies. Bring your feet down, relax, open up into star, and let's gently forward fold all the way down. You might want to adjust your feet here to get ready for our side lunges. Off to the right side first. Just go as far as that you're comfortable for you to go. And then we come over to the left side. Dragonfly twist. Now we're going to plant our right hand in front of us as we bring our left arm up and twist. Bring both hands down, framing your left foot. Step back. We're in a high plank again. You can do a chaturanga or skip it. Downward facing dog. Pick up your left leg this time. 3-point. Cheetah. Knee to nose. 3-point. Side cheetah to your tricep. 3-point. Twisted cheetah. 3-point. Step through. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Take your time. Looking good. Open up, warrior 2. Take note here. Make sure you're not stacking, or you are stacking. Your shoulders are relaxed, but your arms are strong. Your drishti, or vision of focus, should be over your fingertips. Ed, why don't you step off your mat? Get rid of it. If your mat's sliding around, just get rid of it. Reverse warrior. Side angle. Your version. Straight-legged, reverse warrior. And we'll set up for our Trikonasana, triangle pose. Hips shift back a little bit as we open up. All the way up from our core to star. Adjust your feet so they're pointing forward a little bit more. Yeah, Michael, get rid of your mat. I hate those thick mats. They slide all over. Come into goddess. Your version here if it hurts your shoulders. Make sure your elbows are up toward your shoulders. Let's lift up one foot. Back down. Other foot. Back down, and both feet if you like to play. Close your eyes. Try to touch your nose with your eyes closed. It's good for that sobriety practice. Feet down, open up the star. Forward fold. This time Skandasana to the left. Your version. Over to the right. And dragonfly twist. plant both hands around your right foot, step back. Should we go one more time or just go into child pose? Child pose?
Wherever you want to do one more.
We'll do child's pose. Come to your knees and relax into it. If you have tension under your lower back, bring your knees together in this child's pose. It will open up your lower back a little bit more. Come back up. Find a comfortable seat. Everybody doing okay? We're almost done. We're going to get to our balancing portion now. You have a chair if you want? Okay, good. So, however's comfortable for you, we're going to come to Tadasana, which is mountain pose, okay? So we're just going to stand up. Palms facing forward. We're going to tap into our grounding, which is our Pada Bandha. You want to shift your weight toward the balls of your feet. Pick up your toes. Spread them apart and drop them one at a time if you can to plant yourself. Now, if you have a mat that's sliding around, step off the mat. Yeah, those mats are no good. So we're going to do a one-legged Tadasana. We're simply going to raise our leg so that the knee is perpendicular to our hips. We can grow it into a crow. And I invite you to close your eyes. See what happens. And come back down. It's tricky, right? The thing about yoga, working on the balance, it will help you from falling as we get older and breaking a hip. That's what it's all about. It's getting stronger, more flexible, and working on our balance. I had an incident where I actually tripped, fell into a fence, and this all helped me from falling and getting hurt about a month ago. So for me, it worked. So let's do the other side. I'm sorry, stork pose when we grow. Beautiful. And come back down. We're going to come back to goddess. We know goddess, right? We're all going to do the goddess with our balancing. So separate your legs a little bit. We're going to work our quads here. Bring your toes up. Bring your back. There you go. Much better, okay? Put your arms wherever it's good for you, okay? If it hurts your shoulders, go wherever it's comfortable for you. Now I invite you to close your eyes and experience your proprioception, which is your body relative to the space it inhibits. Just see what happens. Play with it. It's tricky, right?
As soon as I close my eyes, I'm sharp.
Yep. You should work. You should feel your gastrocnemius, your calf muscles, talking to you about now. Okay. Just do gentle pulses. Now, yoga doesn't start when we start the pose. Yoga starts when we want to end the pose. Your quads should be talking to you about now. You all look very good. And come back to Tadasana. Doing okay? Okay. Let's do eagle pose. 2 parts. We wrap one foot over the other. I don't have the flexibility to wrap. Everybody look at Kathy, what she's doing with her ankles. She does beautiful. That's the ideal pose. You just go as far as you want. But if you need to, plant down that both feet are down for the balance. And then work on coming off. The second part is the eagle arms. We cross one over and wrap. If you're here, you bring your shoulders up. If that doesn't work for you, a bear hug works just as good. Okay? Whichever you choose with your arms, squat down and do gentle pulses. And come back out. Do you feel the imbalance in your body right now? So we always have to do everything on the other side too, okay? So wrap around. Left under right. And pulse. And come out. Very good. We're going to do tree pose. 3 versions. Version 1, both feet down. We play with maybe lifting up a little bit, okay? Version 2, we come to our gastroc, which is our calf muscle. We never ever come to our knee. Version 3, all the way up into the hip seam. Once here, or wherever you go, we grow our tree. And we can play with it. We can have a weeping willow, strong oak. We can have a dancer tree. We can get a back shoulder stretch. We can do all kinds of things and have fun. We're playing with our bodies, okay? Come down, pick whichever version works for you. If it's 1 and you're comfortable here, then go to 2. Good, good. It is hard. It's not easy. But it gets easier the more we do it. Life is not easy. It's very difficult. But it makes us stronger. And come back down. Feel that imbalance again? All right, so we got to do the other side, right? Pick your version, 1, 2, or 3, and create your tree. Maybe if you're here, why not try a figure 4? You guys got it. Look at you. And we'll come back up to Tadasana. And that's our balance portion, unless you want to do some more. You want to move on? We're going to do some core work, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? All right, let's come back down to Malasana to get halfway down before we drop all the way down. This is my favorite pose, this is child's pose. Opens up my back, makes it feel good. If you have back issues, I love this. Okay, so find your way to a seat. Is anybody else sweating or just me?
No, we are sweating.
Okay, I don't see anybody using your towels.
We don't have the time, that's all.
You can take the rest whenever you want. You okay? Okay. All right, so we're going to do boat pose. Again, 3 versions. Version 1 here, okay? If this is your version, we're just going to do some crunches, okay? Version 2, we can come up here and support ourselves or put our fingers down for support. And again, we'll do some crunches. Full boat pose, all the way up. And if you're here, we're going to row our boat. 10 times, whichever one you want, whichever version you take. I shouldn't be the only one doing this right now. I'm going to have to do 20 by the time you guys do 10.
Show us again, Michael.
Yep, version 1. I'll show you again. There you go. Look at you all got it. It's wonderful. Now, if you're here and you've got 10, let's flutter a little bit. If we can do 10 of these, we can do 20, right? Of course. Feel how strong your abs are. Feel how good work you're doing. All right, good. Let's come back. Cookies. All right. Everybody doing okay? Okay. We're going to do a Savasana after we close, okay? So we're not done yet. Come to a comfortable seat. Close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart center. This time, let's close our right nostril. Breathe only through our left for cooling down. And we'll come back and do a full cleansing breath. Deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Ah. Feels good. I want to do it again. Ah. One more time. Now I read somewhere, it stuck with me, there is a light in each and every one of us that is far brighter than the sun and all the stars in heaven. We want to practice our yoga off the mat in the real world. So try and shine your light on somebody sometime throughout every day. The light in me sees and honors the radiant light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you. Frank, you can stop the video now. Okay. Yeah, Jace, if you get those towels, that'd be great. So we're going to do a Shabbat.